Welcome to IRONMAN Mallorca. Yes, the race is finally back on the beautiful island of Mallorca. The full 226 kilometers of swim, bike, run.
You have to dig deep to find the motivation to change. Change is hard. Change takes time. Change demands sacrifice. ViewSport's sweat-activated technology was developed to motivate you to go that extra mile, to hustle harder, to visibly show your work so you can push further. Performance apparel designed to show the making of a champion. ViewSport. Motivation revealed.
Are you ready for an Ironman? We know you're training hard, but did you know that a sweat loss of over 2% can limit your performance on a race day? Do you have in mind your sodium loss? Don't worry, BestSide has you covered. Look in your Ironman athlete bag. You'll find a sweat diagnosis kit inside. Download the BestSide app, scan the QR code, and get your free sweat analysis. Simply wear the patch, train, and send your sweat sample to our lab. A few days later, you will receive your results. Make your nutrition as individual as possible and get the most out of you on race day. Get your free sweat analysis now at bestside.com.
If you've done the 70.3 before, it will all look very familiar to you. In Alcudia, on the beach, you'll find the expo. Next to the expo is the stage area where the award ceremony will be happening on Sunday. Great little expo. From the expo, you make your way to the official Ironman merchandise, and just beyond that is your athlete registration area. Beyond that is the finish line of Ironman Mallorca, and a little bit beyond that, on the beach, is where your swim starts will be. As always, it's a little bit of a run from the swim out to one of the longest transition zones in the world. Thursday, Expo and official Ironman merchandise are open between 9 in the morning and 7 in the evening. Likewise, athlete registration from 9 till 7. On Friday, Expo and merchandise also open yet again 9 till 7. Athlete registration is from 9 till 6 p.m. And on Friday, the transition opens for bike and bags check-in from 1 till 7. Race day Saturday. The transition zone will open from 6 a.m. and it'll be open until 20 to 8. Also, the white bag drop-off area, which is next to the merchandise tent on the beach behind the finish line, you'll be able to drop those off between 6 in the morning and 7:40. Expo and merchandise will be open for all the fans and the families. The IRONMAN Mallorca professional men start at 7:45. 1 minute later will be the start of the professional women. And age group amateurs, the rolling start starts at 7:50, 10 till 8 in the morning, and approximately 20 minutes of rolling starts for our amateurs. Transition zone will open at 6:30 in the afternoon until midnight for you to remove your bikes and your transition bags. Lost and Found will be available on race day at the info point and in the transition zone. We have mechanics available for you at Expo. They'll be available in the transition zone as well on race day and out on the course. We have mechanics and spares at the 1st and 7th aid stations. These are static, but we also have 2 roving mechanics out on the course on a first come, first serve basis. At most aid stations, we have basic spares available like tubes and tires and tire levers as well as pumps. The white streetwear bags, these get dropped off beside the athlete garden. What is currently the merchandise tent becomes your athlete garden, and they get dropped off there until 7:40 a.m. on race day morning. Please remember your athlete wristband. This is your all-access ticket to everything athlete and race related. It must be worn at all times until the very end of bike checkout, and we actually recommend you keep it on until after the awards on Sunday. Bike check-in is from 1 p.m. until 7 p.m. on Friday at that long transition zone. Once you've completed your bike check-in, you will then receive your timing chip. So don't panic if you didn't get a timing chip at registration. You'll receive that after you've done your bike check-in, and please ensure you wear it on your left ankle. At registration, you'll receive the official athlete wristband. You will receive your backpack. You will receive your registration pack with your bib number in it, with your transition bags, and with your streetwear bags. Timing chip, we remind you, you'll receive on Friday after bike check-in. Please be sure to complete the reverse of your bib number. On the reverse there, we need emergency contact details and any important medical information that you need us to be aware of. Please fill it in ballpoint pen. You receive a white streetwear bag. This is for your warm-up clothes or your streetwear that you wear on Saturday morning when you come to the race. Once you've changed and got ready for the race, you put all your dry clothes in that and you leave that at the athlete garden. Your blue bike bag is for all items that you require to complete the bike, and your helmet must be in that bike bag overnight on Friday night, ready for you on Saturday morning. Your red run bag, this is the bag that you will change into in T2. All your running gear needs to be there, and post-bike you need to ensure that you put your helmet into that bag. The only means of identifying your bags is with the number stickers that we give you. Due to COVID protocols, we do not have transition change tents and we do not have transition bag tents. You will now leave your blue bike bag and your red run bag at your bike. So any and all changing will happen in the transition zone in the bike park at your bike. You leave these packed bags in transition with your bike overnight. You have full access to your bicycle and bags on race day morning. And we also recommend that you only put your bottles, your nutrition and your computer on your bike on race day morning as well. The slide indicates how we prefer you to please rack your bike. Hang it from the saddle. It is your responsibility to ensure that your bicycle is race ready and roadworthy. At the bike check-in, we'll do some basic checks of the condition of your helmet. Please arrive with your helmet on your head, chin strap fastened, arrive with your bib number visible, and arrive with your blue bike bag fully packed and your red run bag fully packed. As a reminder to you, we do have mechanics available for you in the expo zone. The team from SBR are there. They will be available at kilometer 15 and 147.5 on the bike course at the aid stations, and we will have 2 roving mechanics. Your helmet must stay in your blue transition bag overnight, and a reminder that you may not wear your bib number on the swim. You may also not wear anything that webs your hands or webs your feet. So if you are going to wear full compression socks, you can only put them on after the swim or after the bike. If you're wearing calf guards that go from knee to ankle, this is permitted under the wetsuit. Let's look specifically at the swim, bike, and run courses of IRONMAN Mallorca.
My name is Lucy Charles. Growing up, I was always so competitive. From a very, very young age, the dream was always to compete in the Olympic Games. I always wanted to do whatever was the biggest challenge. I'm quite happy to just be running or outdoors and just doing what I love doing. It's finding the balance. You always have dark places and dark spots when you're training and when you're racing, and it's how you get through those moments that defines you as an athlete. And you feel alive as soon as you enter that water and expand your mind and just be free and at one with yourself. I feel like I'm pretty good at being positive even when it's really hurting. I've always had that fight and that winning spirit. I think that just makes me who I am.
Nobody ever feels truly ready.
All those lengths in the pool,
All those laps on the bike,
the kilometers on your feet.
all this for one moment.
You are an athlete.
You're fearless and bold,
You inspire and lead.
and you love what you do. It's now time to grasp the opportunity.
Time to be fearless and conquer.
Time to rise to the challenge and succeed.
It's time to fly.
It's time to fly.
We start with your Roca swim. The Roca swim will be a 2-loop course. Exact same swim course, 2 identical loops. You will be swimming in a clockwise direction with right-hand turns around the buoys. After the first loop, you'll make a small exit onto land, and then you'll go through a special filter channel back into the sea for your second loop. Please be sure that you adhere to COVID protocols, social distancing of 2 meters, washing and disinfecting your hands, and also wearing your mask. You must wear your mask inside IRONMAN Mallorca race venues. You must wear your mask whenever you're indoors, and likewise in the transition zone and at the swim start. At the swim start, at the big Roca Ironman swim march, there are rubbish bins for you to place your mask before you start your race. We work on the rolling swim start principle. Please seed yourselves according to your expected swim time. Seed yourselves honestly, and it'll take approximately 20 minutes to get everybody into the water from after we've started the first amateur age groupers. Your race starts when your timing chip goes over the start mat under the start arch. You have to follow the official Ironman swim course, starting through the Roca swim arch, following all the buoys, doing loop 1, doing loop 2, and exiting through the Ironman swim exit arch. If for whatever reason you decide to quit racing, you must please advise an Ironman race official, a race referee, or a member of the medical team, or go to the info tent. If you do not do so, we will start a search and rescue operation, and the costs incurred will be for your account. Once you've completed the swim, out of the water, through the arch, up the beach, and that short run to the long transition zone, please run through transition to your bike, get changed at the bike, and then you are onto the Ventum bike course. Ensure that you place all your wet gear back into your blue bike bag and leave it at your racked position. The Ventum bike course on the beautiful island of Mallorca is spectacular. You will do the red loop, which is the original 70.3 loop, including the climb from Poyenza up towards Yuc and that long descent, and you'll enjoy this beautiful, beautiful, very fast bike course. Once you leave Sa Pobla, you'll be pretty much making your way back towards the Alcudia area, and then you will ride in the direction of Campica Fort through the roundabout, and then you will make the green section of the course. This section has changed. You will now be doing 2 loops of the green section of the course. Essentially, you're going to get to the roundabout at kilometer 131, and you'll have to do the second loop of that course. And it'll be very clearly signboarded. Either you'd start your second loop of the course if you're at kilometer 131, or when you get to about kilometer 170, then you must make your way towards transition. It'll be well signboarded. It's a great bike course, and it is a pretty quick one as well. Remember, once you've been through Port Poyenza and you make your way towards Poyenza, when you leave Poyenza, it gently starts to climb up, and then it's a fairly long climb of approximately 15 kilometers, including a section where you think you're at the top. You've got a short descent, and then you climb some more. And then you turn off towards the monastery Yuc, and then the technical descent starts. And it is a pretty technical descent. It's got some sharp switchbacks, and it is steep and fast. So for approximately 7 kilometers, you will be descending. Please descend with caution, because we want to see you on the finish line. Also be aware that we do have situations where sheep and goats decide that they want to cross the bike course. So at all times, keep eyes in front and ride with caution. Plenty aid stations out on the bike course. We will get you fueled to the finish line. We've got water. It is in a retail purchased normal bottle. It's 750 mils. Squeeze a tiny bit of water out of that bottle and will fit into your bike cage, no problem as well. Gatorade ready to drink. Thirst Quencher is your isotonic sports drink. Thank you to the team at Gatorade. There are also 750 ml bottles that fit into your cages. The gels are from Morton. The bars are from 2 to 6. And we've got various fruit products as well. Please shout gracias to all our volunteers. And remember, you may not litter. We have discard zones. When you see the green sign before you approach the aid station, that is when you can discard. Once you pass the aid station, you've got about another 100 meters beyond that aid station in which you have time to discard your trash. Any intentional littering will see you disqualified. We have mechanics. We have mechanics at aid station at 15 kilometers at 147.5. All the aid stations have basic spares, plus we have on-course assistance. So please remember, you need to be able to do the basics yourself. If you have a very unique bike and you need unique spares, take the basics with you as well. The bib number is not mandatory on the bike, but it is mandatory on the run. You may not wear your bib number on the swim. A yellow card will see you get a 60-second penalty, which you serve in the penalty tent. Ironman does not allow any form of electronic communication devices or any form of electronic device. All you're allowed is the watch on your wrist and your bike computer. So the yellow card is for minor infringements, 60 seconds in the penalty tent. The blue card is for drafting, that is 5 minutes in the penalty tent. The red card is a DQ. 3 blues will see you disqualified. 3 yellows or a combination of yellow and blue at the discretion of the referee can see you disqualified as well. The draft zone is 12 meters from the front wheel of the athlete in front of you to your front wheel. You have 25 seconds to make your pass. Once your front wheel is alongside the front wheel of the athlete you are passing, they must drop back and you must merge to the right. Once you start a pass, you must complete the pass. If you do not complete the pass, you are benefiting from the slipstream of the athlete in front of you and you will receive a blue card. Once you have been passed, you must drop back. If you do not drop back, you are deemed to be benefiting from the slipstream. You will get a blue card for drafting. The only time we can have 2 athletes side by side is during an overtaking maneuver. Always ride on the right and pass on the left. Do not ride on the left because that constitutes blocking. Blocking will see you get a yellow card. A red card is for major infringements like public nudity, urinating in public, unsportsmanship-like behavior, littering, dangerous riding, crossing the center white line, overtaking athletes on the wrong side. These are the kind of things that can see you red carded. So please be aware that it's your responsibility to know the rules. It's your responsibility to know the course. When you are shown a card, it is your responsibility to know what color card you were shown and to report to the next available tent and serve your penalty. Some rules that we want to remind you about. You must keep right past left. You may not cross the center white line. You may not ride on the wrong side of the road. You may not overtake an athlete on the incorrect side. The bib number is optional on the bike, but compulsory on the run. No bib number on the run will see you disqualified. You must report to the penalty tent to serve your penalties. If you go to the wrong penalty tent, or if you do not go to a penalty tent, or if you report the wrong colored card, you will be disqualified. No electronic devices. Athletes may help fellow athletes so long as in the rendition of that assistance to another athlete, you do not compromise your ability to complete the race. You may not receive outside assistance. You may not be coached. You may not be paced. The penalty tents are easy to spot. There's one penalty tent at kilometer 86, so that is just before you complete the original 70.3 red loop. And the second penalty tent is at the transition zone at the end of the 180 kilometers. Then you've completed the bike. You come to the roundabout, and just as a reference point, that roundabout is where the Banana Club is and the Burger King and the Lidl. You'll get off your bike at the dismount line, run into the bike park, rack your bike again according to your race number at your parking spot. You will get changed into your running gear, put your helmet into your red run bag, and then you will exit the bike park onto the run course. Time to talk about the Hoka run course at IRONMAN Mallorca. It is a completely flat run course, and it is 4 loops to make up the 42.2 kilometers. Lots of aid stations out there for you as well. All the products will be supplied in cups except for water, which is supplied to you in bottles. Morton gels are available as well, both caffeinated and uncaffeinated. Please remember the discard zone is in and around the aid stations. Do not litter outside of that aid station. On the run course, you will essentially pass the finish line 4 times, and when you get to that finish line the 5th time, that is when you turn left onto the beach and run to the finish of IRONMAN Mallorca. Please note that only registered competing athletes who are completing the race may come down the finish line. You may not bring anybody down the finish line with you, no family, no friends, no pets. Should you do so, you will be disqualified. Other rules. Remember, it's your responsibility to know the rules and regulations as well as the courses. Do not cut the course red. Do not cut the course short. Do not litter. No public nudity, no urinating in public. By the way, we have portaloos available at all aid stations on bike and run. No outside assistance is allowed, no coaching, no pacing, and no electronic devices. So, for example, you cannot come down the finish line with your GoPro camera. You may not run with earphones in. You may not come down the finish line with your mobile phone filming and taking photos. Rather, give your GoPro and your phones to your fans and spectators that they can film you. There are no penalty boxes on the run course. Penalties are issued as a form of stop and go on the course. We have cutoffs: 2 hours and 20 minutes to complete the Roka swim, 10 hours and 30 minutes to swim, transition, and complete the Ventum bike. We do, however, have a time of day based intermediate cutoff. This is at the top of the climb at about kilometers 35 on the bike at Yuk. That's because we need to be able to clear the course and open the course again for all the residents who are letting us enjoy these beautiful roads. And then you have a total time of 17 hours to swim T1, bike T2, and finish the Hoka Marathon Run and come down the finish line on the beach in Mallorca and hear those words, "You are an Ironman." For those athletes doing the bike run, they have 8 hours and 10 minutes to bike and 14 hours and 40 to bike, T2, and run. If for whatever reason you stop the race, please advise an Ironman official, a race referee, a member of the medical team, or please go to the info point. We need to know that you have quit the race. For those of you who've trained super hard and dream about saying yes to a slot to the Ironman World Championship October 2022, Kailua, Kona, Hawaii, that slot allocation will be done online. please be sure that you've been onto ironman.com and you're familiar with how the slot allocation online process works. In the Athlete Garden, we will have results boards for you. We'll also post the penalties. If you have any doubts and questions, they can be clarified at what was the registration area. If you have any protests or appeals, you can do so until just after midnight. You're allowed to check out your bikes and your gear bags from 6:30 p.m. until midnight. Enter the transition through what was the run start. Make sure you've got your race wristband and your bib number visible. Collect your bags and bike and return the chip at the exit control. Thank you so much for coming to Alcudia, Mallorca. Thank you so much for being a part of the return of full distance racing here on the beautiful island of Mallorca. Buena suerte, alles Gute, good luck for Saturday's Ironman Mallorca.